Starry Night by Katlyn Argenta. The sky was suffused with pinpoints of light, like the night on which Clifford proposed to Charlene, in this very same old Pontiac, sitting on top of Scarlet's Ridge. Down the incline, around the gnarled oak, she could see her parents' house of orange brick, not tall, but gabled, with its chimney reaching futilely toward the harvest moon. Everything about the scene seemed the same, but somehow different. Her parents were gone. They no longer manufactured cars with nameplates that said Pontiac in fancy chrome script, and even the ridge itself, named after the one in Gone with the Wind, where Scarlett O'Hara vows never to go hungry again, seemed part of a past that would never return. Charlene thought back to that night from what surely was a million nights ago, when Cliff, with his close-cropped brown hair and best Sunday suit, asked her to marry him after only having known her for 6 months. Of that night, two things, both trivial now, stood out. The crackling starch of her taffeta petticoats, and her wondering if her dad and mom could see the two of them from their upstairs bedroom. Then, of course, there was the starry sky, with its Van Gogh strokes of aurora mist, and its natural planetarium bright, twinkling orbs. How nervous Cliff was, and the panic in his brown eyes when he thought he had lost the ring, when all the time it was between the front seats where it had fallen in its small velvet box. Then, finding it, how his eyes sparkled, and he feigned not having the faintest of clues to what the box contained. How could she not say yes to such boyish clumsiness? And how could he not know that he would be the success he would be at the small insurance agency on Main Street, the town's only such office, working for her dad? And how, above all else, could he not know how much both her folks wanted him to ask her after only 6 months? Charlene wiped a solitary teardrop from her right eye. She was not one of those girls who customarily succumb to such stuff. She had never even cried when, down on her luck, Scarlett O'Hara had vowed that she would rise again from the ashes of Tara against that fire-streaked sky. The ridge, her parents' home, now hers. The old Pontiac, still in running order, on infrequent sojourns to the not-so-distant past. They were all reminders of what was and, unless she were wrong, could never be again. Passion replaced by chummy pats on chummy shoulders. Romance replaced by routine. The exciting uncertainty of each new day giving way to the plodding predictability of mundane domesticity. A knock on the glass disrupted her melancholy. The passenger side door opened. "A premium for your thoughts," her insurance man husband quipped. With him were the twins, pretty as their pictures on the living room mantel. "Cliff, you surprise me." "Your parents called from North Carolina. I told them you'd call them back after we had ice cream in town." "Can't we, Mom?" "Get in, girls, and fasten your seatbelts. Mom's about to crank up the old wide-track Bonneville." "Cliff." "Yes?" "Do you still love me?" "What kind of silly question is that?" Do you still love Mommy, Daddy? Crank her up, Pilot dear, Cliff exhorted her once more. I'll whisper the answer in Mom's ear after I have my sherbet. She started up the engine. What did my mom and dad want? Oh, I think they just wanted to know if you still loved your favorite insurance agent.